evening, everyone. My name is Yap Chin and I will be your host for tonight. On behalf of the JPO family, we'd like to extend a warm welcome to everyone tuning in for tonight's broadcast. We hope that everyone is doing well and staying safe indoors. A friendly reminder to maintain good hygiene at all times and maintain social distancing when heading out. As we like to continue improving your experience with us, please help us achieve this by completing the poll that will be published during the broadcast. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the Q&A section down below. To anyone who is interested in sharing tonight's broadcast, a live feed will be shared on the JPO Facebook page and a recording of the webinar will also be uploaded on the YouTube. Tonight's seminar features Scarlet Gouk, with her topic being career opportunities as a saxophonist. As our JPL family attendees are mostly students ranging from primary school to college, their parents and their teachers, the sharing of knowledge and advice you have for all of us is invaluable and greatly appreciated. Now onto Scarlett's biography. Scarlet Gouk is one of Malaysia's leading saxophonists and educators. She graduated with her master's degree in saxophone performance and literature as a graduate assistant under the tutelage of Dr. Chiang Kwan Lin at the Eastman School of Music. In 2019, she received scholarship awards and a first-class honors bachelor's degree in music performance from the College of Music, Mahidol University. Scarlett also graduated with a diploma in music performance and was awarded the 2014 Best Student Award from the Malaysian Institute of Art, MIA. Scarlett has studied with Jean-Marie Londex, Rodrigo Villa, Kenneth Che, Lars Marcus. As an active performer and educator, Scarlett has conducted saxophone workshops at MIA in 2016 at the Kuala Lumpur Performing Arts Centre. She has also performed at the Mallorca Saxophone Festival, Spain. Scarlett was invited as an artist and lecturer for a series of international festivals including the La Pampa Saxophone Festival, Argentina, the Rondo Fest, Penang, and the Bun Lang Project, Thailand. As a model for young saxophone artists in the Asia region, Scarlett represents Malaysia at the dawn of Asia Saxophone Ensemble. The members of the ensemble hail from China, Macau, Hong Kong, South Korea, Thailand, Taiwan, and Singapore. Sapphire Quartet is the first reed quartet in Malaysia founded by Scarlett to help foster the public interest in reed instrument playing collectively. Recently, she collaborated with local artists to commission new works supported by the Cultural Economy Development Agency, Cendana, and she was invited as the guest artist of the Society of Malaysian Contemporary Music Composers, SMCC, to commission saxophone works in Malaysia. Some of her competition accolades include first prize in the Asia Pacific Saxophone Competition solo category, Thailand 2017, and second prize in the 2020 Music Teachers National Association, MTNA, New York State Young Artist Competition. Scarlett currently serves as the saxophone lecturer at University College Fairview, Malaysia. Now let us welcome Scarlett. Hello, Scarlett. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, Yachin.
Yes. How are you?
I'm doing good. You?
Okay. Could you tell us about the wonderful video that we just watched at the beginning?
There's two videos, and then the first one is obviously a pop song. It's called If I Ain't Got You. And the second one is actually, and everyone knows that, right? And then I purposely put that on top because like people will do that, oh, I want to play pop song. And then that's the first thing, like, okay, so saxophone can play pop song. But then
Oh,
when they
yeah.
watch the second video, they would be like, what is this? This is actually like late romantic saxophone transcriptions. So I
Mm-hmm.
purposely picked that so people have like an audience have a like comparison, like wow,
Ah.
it's so like different nuances that the saxophone can actually make.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
So
ask about the second
mm.
piece? Is it like is it considered like a classical piece or
uh,
a
it's
contemporary
an
piece?
it's in a romantic like period thing. You
Ah.
but we call that like a classic because it's not pop or a new music thing. It's like those new sound. So we still categorize that in like more or less like standard way,
May I
if I
know
may.
who composed this
Prokofiev.
piece? Prokofiev. Oh,
Mm.
I didn't know he
Yeah, Romeo
composed
and
for saxophone.
Juliet. No, it's not for saxophone. It's a
Oh,
transcription. I took that from the
oh,
violin. Yeah.
ah, I
Yes, yes, yes,
see.
yes, yes.
Ah, okay, okay. Okay, so how did your interest in saxophone start and what did you find appealing about it? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was started like everyone else in the school band. Like I,
Ah,
yeah, most of them started in the primary school, but then I
oh,
wasn't that lucky. I didn't have that in school, so I went on to a secondary school. So it's like 13 when I first started, and I picked the
oh,
saxophone
yeah.
is because my dad loves the Kenny G. Kenny G is like the hot, the best thing that during that time. So I pick up that instrument, but I wasn't like I know that I love music playing because I
Mm-hmm.
played the piano,
Oh, yeah.
but somehow that I'm not like really talented in piano playing. I just can't sit there like for 2 hours just sit there to the piano, because with the saxophone we walk on the field, we go under the sun, we do any
Oh,
concert band,
yeah, the
like we
band.
play with so many people around, like so many friends, it's so fun. So I consider that, oh, maybe I'll pick the saxophone then, because I can walk around with my instrument and it looks cool, like an S, like Scarlet, an
Oh,
S.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But then
Ah,
when after I graduated from high school,
mm-hmm.
I just thought that, okay, I'll just continue my passion. I know I want to do music. But then I wasn't like really interested, like, okay, I want to start practicing like 8 hours a day and then get a difficult repertoire done or something. I wasn't like that until I was with a friend, like in
Mm-hmm.
chamber
Mm-hmm.
project, like we
Mm-hmm.
had on to go give concerts. And then my friend told me that she didn't want audience to come to watch her concert.
Okay.
Yeah, she is the performer, but she didn't want audience, like it's okay, we don't need we don't need audience to come. I just play whatever I want. I just go on stage and perform, and then I go home. With or without
Oh.
audience is fine. So from there onwards, I started to observe people around me, especially in Malaysia, because that time I was in MIA for 2.5
Oh,
years.
yeah.
So I was in
Mm-hmm.
MIA, and then I start observing my peers, my teachers, everyone around me, that what are they thinking? Are they really like want to play music? Just like tell people that I'm playing music. Come watch me. Or
Oh,
are they like,
yeah.
just don't listen to me. I'm so bad. I just can't do this. I can't do that. And then I want to stay in the practice room. Yeah, the people like friends around me, I would say like 90% of them are like that. So
Ah.
yeah. So that gives me kind of like an inspiration thing, because I really want
Yeah.
to know why. you
Mm-hmm.
know I can't say that I'm really good at something, but I want to play, even if I don't know that I'm good or bad. I want to stand on the stage in front of the audiences. I want to do something. That's just me. So I'm curious
Ah.
that how come my peers, they are not passionate in that sense. So starting
Ah,
from there onwards, I'm more interested to find out more about the saxophone so that
mm-hmm.
I can use saxophone as a tool to
Yeah.
inspire my friends that hey, I love the saxophone and this is what I can do good, you can do good as well, and you can love your instrument as well. Let's do
Oh
it
yeah.
together. Yeah, that's maybe the first thing that like give me that strong passionate in pursuing saxophone as a career.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Can I ask,
Mm,
when you were in high school, do you know
mm.
that saxophone isn't really, they don't really play in an orchestra. So what, I mean, maybe you choose because it has this S shape, yeah, and it's cool. But in the end, did you find like a bit left out, or what do you
Mm.
feel?
Yeah, you really you know me like you is that it's not when I was in high school because you know you're in high school you don't know anything like
Yeah.
everyone that is there that can input you info you would think that oh that's everything I have.
Oh
But
yeah.
when I really start to like doing okay I want to do this thing seriously and then I find out oh my god saxophonists don't really earn a living out from that thing unless you are like you have like a tons of like a big groups of students a
Yeah.
big studio like strong studio or else or you are like poor people like Kenny G or those kind of like big name or other
Yeah.
big name or
Yeah.
else you just won't make a living out of it and can't like we can't play in orchestra it's really uh unfortunate but also fortunate I would say because we
Oh.
can't play in the orchestra we start
Mm-hmm.
to like branches out like we try to search everything that we can do outside
Oh
from the
yeah.
orchestra
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people in orchestra they have like a full-time it's a full-time position they just focus
Mm-hmm.
on
Mm-hmm.
the excerpts of that but we only have that chance like maybe once or twice a year if we are
Yeah.
lucky that we are
Yeah.
chosen to get into that orchestra and play that two excerpts or play that 3 minutes and then we are done if we
Oh
are
yeah.
yeah just depending on that we are done like we are like
I
so
see.
yeah it's not until I studied in like took it as a major study
Mm-hmm.
only I
Mm-hmm.
knew that okay I'm actually not in a good situation after I graduate yeah.
I see.
Mm.
Okay, so what is your position now? Are you working full time as a saxophonist, or what do you do?
Actually, I'm now I think I'm very lucky. I graduated in May and then I got like connected with some of my friends before and then they say, "Oh, our university we are hiring like saxophone lecturer." So I'm actually
Mm-hmm.
now the saxophone lecturer at University College Fairview.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
as a part-time as a part-time because they in Malaysia you can't really find a full-time position in that
Yeah.
sense unless you have like
Yeah.
100 students you get
Yeah.
me right
Uh
so
huh.
I'm in a way that I'm also uh establishing this whole scene that
Mm-hmm.
if I can establish this I hope that the next generation or my peers they will have the same uh things happening to them
Ah, yeah.
yeah and then full-time and part-time sometimes it's very difficult to define like
Okay.
I myself is in part-time
Mm-hmm.
but like full-time to people is like the pay scale right 9 to 5 that's the
Yeah.
full-time but
Yeah.
then I do my work longer than that
Oh.
I got paid as a part-timer but
Mm-hmm.
if we can separate the idea of full-time and part-time we can do much more and then we
Oh
will get
yeah.
much more as well isn't it
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm not just doing like teaching. I will do a lot of stuff. Like yesterday, I attended a workshop. I gave a workshop. It's about the introduction to saxophone to all the young composers in Malaysia. So in that sense, I'm also helping to spread out the info about saxophone to the composers, and then people write for saxophone, and then more people will do. And then I also do a lot of recordings with or without pay. I call myself a full-time already. Yeah, because every day I wake up, I just think about us how can I do more for the saxophone scene in Malaysia. That's just because I spent so much time like overseas, 7 years or so, and then I don't want to come back just wait for like 2 hours or 3 hours a day just to teach 2 or 3 students.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not sure. Have you heard of the Singapore symposium, saxophone symposium? Have you heard?
Yeah, I've attended that.
I see. Yeah.
Have you been there?
Okay, I have not been there. I'm not. I'm a violinist, but I think it was organized by my school, so that's why I know.
NAFA.
Yes, I'm from NAFA. Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know Leslie?
I only know Dr. Go.
Oh, Dr. Go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like saxophone.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. I see. Okay, that's great.
It's the like symposium like that. When I first started, I know that NAFA has that symposium. Wow! So my teacher and I drove all the way. He drove me like all the way to Singapore just to attend that, and then at night we drove back to Malaysia. Is that crazy? So
you guys stay in Johor or
no
during that
KL.
period?
No,
KL. So you drive all the way from KL, then you drive back again to KL. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like we don't have that enough people, like the community in here, and the knowledge itself is not solid enough. So we can't actually build that. Yeah. So I'm also aiming for that in the near future.
I see. Yes. That would be great. Okay, so what are the challenges as a full-time saxophonist, and how can we accumulate musician skills? Yeah.
Actually, it's also very challenging for a full-time musicians as well. I think in a time period like this, it's so difficult. Like one MCO, one lockdown, everyone, it's like no income at all. So I think the challenges as a full-time saxophonist is like what you just mentioned. We can't play in an orchestra. Even if we do, it's like once a year.
Yeah.
And if we are playing in a symphonic band, are we getting paid for that? Is that a community band? Like things like that. We don't really get paid by playing in a large group. Even if we are doing like a small ensemble, we are like trying our best to sell the tickets, but that it will not, we will not earn from that. So the challenges here, I think the major thing here is how much, like how many people out there, I mean, just in Malaysia, know about the saxophone. The instrument itself and the repertoire itself, like what how can you provide, like what kind of music can you play? Because we are musicians, so what we can provide is either we are a performer or we are like we are going towards the education, we are a teacher. So the very very first challenging part is we still don't really have a strong community on the saxophone. So we can't actually like boost that info to everyone else besides musician. So I think if we can build a platform like what JPO is doing, it's excellent. that will be very great, like what NAFA, the symposium, is doing, or Thailand, or anywhere else. So we are trying to aim for that platform.
I see. Have you guys thought about like outreach? I'm pretty sure you guys thought about outreach, right?
Actually, within the saxophone circle, it's very active. Yeah, everyone is doing a lot of stuff. We are constantly doing new works. We are performing. We are transcribing. We are doing recordings. Just many crazy stuff. But I don't know how many people out there besides saxophonists are interested in what we are doing. Yeah, and then we are very crazy in competition. I don't know if violin has that thing.
Yes, we do too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but it's just part of, like, one part of the way to let people know what the saxophone people are doing. Yeah. And then, like, if we really want to accumulate those musician skills, I think we have to start, like, ourselves as a musician, we have to start with a strong base, a foundation of music knowledge. Let's say I started in the school band. If I don't have a tutor in front of me giving me a weekly lesson or twice a month, I would just simply play and then make a sound out of the saxophone, correct?
Oh yeah, yes.
And then that 5 years is the time period that I started. So I would establish a lot of bad habits if I'm not careful about that. So after the 5 years, and then I got into a college, and then the 2.5 years or the 4 years is not learning new things, it's to correcting bad habits. It's like, oh my God, it's killing me. You know that? Many of my friends or peers, they just gave up because it took so many patience and hours just to correct one very dumb bad habit.
Yes. I think it's already like you're used to it, and then suddenly all of a sudden you need to change it.
And it's kind of like impossible if you are not patient enough, you are not sure that this is the thing you want. So I think if you really want to start up with a career in the instrument we choose, we have to be really sure that the foundation, I mean the solid basic technique, musicianship is there. We don't have to go like crazy, you know, with, like, if you want to compare to a 10-year-old music prodigy, it's impossible. We are not like that. 10 years old, I didn't even know what was I doing, you know. I wasn't practicing, I don't know, watching TV or something like that. But that's a way. If you are starting as a high school graduate and then you are only studying it in your later years, like 20 or 19, you are smart in the sense that you can select things, and then you can break down your how to say, routine. You know, because you are getting an adult phase, so you know that what is right, what is wrong. So if you stick to that, and then you constantly know that, oh, this is the wrong thing, and then I must correct this thing to jump to the next phase, you will start building that foundation even if you are in the later years of your music study. And I strongly recommend that listen to different kind of musicians performing or master classes, like voice, like strings, like how they execute their instrument, how voice people breathe, how brass player buzz, all of that little details will help us as a saxophonist to make us a better musician, not just how to play the saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been to other master classes besides the saxophone, is it?
Yeah. I really love watching the violinist Maxim Vangaroo.
Oh yeah, Maxim Vangaroo.
Yeah, his masterclass, I think it's very inspiring because, and then he has a big eyes, all that. But the way he teaches the students or giving examples, I was like really like, wow, I've never thought of that. Or voice, because voice is our first instrument, and by just watching how the professional like music vocalist trying to give info about how they project their sound is just so interesting. How can I use the same concept to apply to my instrument?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something you will get a lot of info out from the saxophone if you are like passionate about the music, not just the saxophone.
Yes, I agree. Talking about like you learning the saxophone during in high school, because I saw the video just now. You're playing different saxophone. One is it alto, and then one is the treble.
Oh, the one I like, the big instrument.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So because I know that normally people will learn the normal saxophone, which is like the S shape. Then when you really get into saxophone, then you have to learn different saxophones, isn't it?
Actually, the one is when I was in Mahidol. So it's my year 2 when I was in bachelor degree. So I was in a school uniform. That's a Thailand uniform, and that's the baritone, and then the bass. So the one on the chair is actually a bigger one.
This one, is it?
Yeah. So to start on the saxophone, we would ask like students would have like alto, a smaller ass.
Yeah.
This is also an ass if you like. It's a large.
It's this one, right?
This is an alto. This is an alto.
Yeah.
And then or the tenor or the soprano. They are actually the same way of playing. Yeah. It's just a different size. So you will have to practice in a more support or more solid embouchure, but they function the same way.
I see. I thought they function differently.
Not really. It is the same. It's just one is heavier than the other as it goes up.
Oh yeah. So when you read the scores, is it like the same? It's not the same, right? So you technically have to like study all different clefs, is it?
We are all in treble.
Oh, clef. Everything is in treble, even though
it's just that we are transposing instrument. Some is in B flat, some is in E flat.
Oh.
But we still read as written, but it sounds differently.
Okay. I see. I see. Okay. Just a reminder to all our viewers and listeners, please feel free to ask Scarlett any questions. If you have any questions, you just type them in the Q&A section box. Yeah, she will be very happy to answer you live later during the Q&A. Okay, let's move on. So, what are the essential things we should know to start a career as a saxophonist?
I think maybe just put it in a Malaysia context. If you are a Malaysian, you want to start a saxophonist, you look around. Who are the saxophonists?
Oh yeah.
And then what is your what gives you inspiration that you want to pick up the saxophone? It might not be the first thing that the first reason that you pick up. It might change, but you have to hold on to at least one inspiration that makes you like drives your passion because passion don't lie. If you don't like something, you can't fake it, right? You can't just continue doing it and then you say you want to earn a living out from it. It's sorry, that is impossible. You have to love it from your heart first, and then you have to get inspired by yourself. Every time you do things related to the saxophone and then you feel like, wow, I learn new things, I get like inspiration, I'm a better person or something like that, that can change you. I think that's very important as the first thing.
I see. Okay. What is the advice for young saxophonists or musician?
Then okay, I still have a little bit of things to say about to start off as a career.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, just a few things so that like people have a checklist that if I'm here, I'm listening to Scarlet, that I'm going to graduate in high school and I want to be a professional saxophonist. What should I do? Okay, so I'm going through very fast. The second thing is you must know your strength and weakness. Because after you graduate, you will find that people out there is like super crazy. They are super good. But the things you have here, they might not have it because from where we are, we grow, we came from a different city, different countries, we learn different things. You must see that, you must know that what you are good at and what people are good at. So you grab that, what people are good at to you, so you will start like growing to become a better saxophonist. And then slowly you just polish your weakness to become better. But don't worry if you are not good at this, that, everything you are not good at. You must know that if you can gather all those little things, little strength you have in you, they will become a unique sound of yourself, or a unique ability that people don't have. Go find that. I don't know how to help you with that, but you know that what are the things that you are really good at. Maybe you are very good in football, or maybe good in playing video games. They are all skills, correct? If you have a certain kind of skills, you combine them together and then you try a way to just get the concept out of that, put it in the saxophone. I tell you, you will succeed. It's just that you must know what are the things that you are good at.
I see. I'm very curious about this. Did you find it yourself, or does your teacher sort of help you a bit with this?
Along the way, I would not say that my teacher helped me a lot in this sense, because most of the time they would just not giving me good feedback, I would say. So that I would have to go find what I'm actually good at. Yeah, I maybe I feel that I'm good in talking, and I don't need a script or something. I just like to talk. But my friend would say, I'm just so scared to be in front of the camera or something like that. I just don't want to go on stage or something. Like I just try. At the first, I might not be very good, like natural in front of the camera or in front of the audience. I will act very awkward. But I somehow just have to go through that. People laugh at me. Come on, friends laugh at me. Friends would go like, what happened to you today? How come you play like that in studio? And then you just go home and cry, and then you go back to the practice room and then you do it all over again. Yeah. So along the way, you just have to learn. You have to understand yourself. Start learning yourself so that you know that which career path is more suitable for you.
Yes, true. I think I think musicians like us, yes, we do struggle at first, but along the way, I think we will find it, yeah,
That's
somewhere.
true. Just don't
Yeah.
just don't give up. Many
Yeah.
people, but that's the hard part. Like you tell people like, hey, don't give up. They will say, it's very difficult, you know. How can I not give up? I don't see the future, blah, blah, blah. But deep down, you have to know. So the first thing is what inspired you? What gives you
Yeah.
inspiration? If you
Yeah.
continuously know that something would make you happy, just do it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
That energy in you is very important.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Definitely. Okay, so as you may have heard, the Jesselton Philharmonic Orchestra has involved itself in a variety of activities. So, on behalf of the JPO, we would like to ask your views on the JPO and its activities. Additionally, how would you suggest the JPO and its members further improve itself?
Actually, I don't have any like advice, but I'm really happy that JPO like having me here to share all this, because JPO is like a platform, I say, like
Mm-hmm.
giving everyone a chance to look at what musicians are doing outside, in different ways, and in each corner of the world. Like
Yeah.
how can you find a platform like this to learn from someone else and in different instrument and profession.
Oh yeah.
So I think JPO is doing a very great job, and it is like 200 something series
Yeah.
about this
Yeah.
thing. And then, you know, in this difficult situation, you guys have that energy, that passion. I'm really like solo and admire that.
Thank you.
And
Thank
then
you.
that will slowly influence other musicians as well, because I know
Mm-hmm.
many of my friends or teachers, they just feeling very down. They don't have students anymore
Mm-hmm.
because some of them are private, and then online doesn't make things good, and then academy
Oh.
is closing down.
Yeah.
Like it's just not a good time for every musicians out there.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes. Okay, so there are some questions in. So this one is from Anonymous. So may I know what is your view regarding the different genres of music that the saxophone can play? Is there a particular genre you think the saxophone is more suited for? Why do you say so?
Okay, so what is your view, Ray?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the idea here, but I love this question. Adolph Sax itself, I think it's a very smart person, and it's like an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
He invented this instrument when people think that what is this? A brass and a woodwind combined together, and a brass, and then you can play like a clarinet. What is that? You
Yeah.
can't even play in an orchestra.
Mm-hmm.
So his first intention is to like foster the interest in his instrument, so other people will try new things, get new
Mm-hmm.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
So if we understand that concept itself, we wouldn't put ourselves in a box that I'm just studying this genre, that genre, or
Mm-hmm.
what kind of genre.
Oh
And
yeah.
as long as we understand the history, the timeline of the saxophone, you will see
Mm-hmm.
that from the military, and then going to the pop, and then to the classic, all that thing, you will find that uh, interesting, like fun.
Oh
So
yeah.
to answer his question, is there a particular genre I think it's more suited for the saxophone? I think no, because I pick up the saxophone because I myself like to uh, try different kind of things. I take
Mm-hmm.
up challenges, and it's very interesting if you ask a jazz students to play
Yeah.
like the classical students, they just can't do it. They don't like to read music, like vision, like read the music or
Yeah.
practice the technical stuff. If you ask the classic students to improvise like the jazz, it's somehow you can't have that thing going on in that students. So it's a mindset thing. If we can just open our mind, open our heart to accept different genre, and as long as the music inspire others, make people feel something, tell a story, that's music, right? Music is meant to be that way, entertaining, isn't it? People listen to your music because of something. If you hit that goal, I would say just go for whatever genre that makes that goal achieved. Yeah, so that's why I wouldn't want to like show you just I'm playing a contemporary music or a just pop or just what. I myself is also learning to approaching different genre. And I think it's a good way that if you don't frame yourself in a box that I have to do this and I'm only this and this is all I have. Saxophone itself can speak so much thing. It's like a story. You just putting a different tools, or you think differently, you hear differently, you sound differently.
I see. Talking about genre, which genre do you like, and which do you think is difficult? Talking about genre also, when I first like know saxophone, right, it's like jazz music. I think the only thing when they talk about saxophone, when I first like know about saxophone, this thing, it will always come to my mind. Oh, jazz music. Yeah, it wouldn't be like something else. It would always be like jazz music. So yeah, would you mind talking about it?
So you are asking that what kind of like challenges from different genre?
Yeah, and which one do you like? Yeah,
I think I like all the genre. And in different contexts, they give me different inspiration. They give me different thing to think about. Let's say the Prokofiev, like playing the soprano in a late romantic music. I would think of a very beautiful, like sweet tone. I would think of the saxophone tone itself. Like, how do I phrase the music? How do I achieve a melodious, like, you know, that romantic, expressiveness in music? I will challenge myself in that way. So I picked up that repertoire so I can train myself to become a better musician. But then I also like pop. I have friends say I don't listen to pop, I'm classical musician like that. So are you sure you have never heard of pop or any pop song you like? I mean, I heard that from childhood. My dad opened the radio, turned on the radio, and then I listened to that. It's what I grew up from. I can't just say that I don't know, like the moon represent my heart. I don't know, like me, all those. I don't know. I know, and then I love it.
Yeah.
And I think the pop song can easily get into the audience heart because majority of people like the pop song. So I'm trying a way that can make the saxophone look like really cool and then like combine with the genre so that I can hit my goal that makes more people like the saxophone. So there's not really one genre that I like, and all the genre has its own challenges. You asked me to improvise. I can be honest that I can't really improvise that good right now, but I'm open my time now because I'm more flexible with my time now. So I would really spend my time an hour or two a day, starting with the jazz basic, like the 2-5-1 chords, the blues skills, and I'm just starting like a beginner. although I'm a saxophone lecturer in blah blah in University College Fairview, but I don't care. I'm learning every day to become a better saxophonist, a better musician.
Yes.
Yeah, and I love it. All the genres.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so another question. Hi, thanks for sharing. Thanks for your sharing. I noticed from your photos that you are playing different types of saxophones. How many types of saxophone are you actually playing, and do you own all the different types? I heard.
Do you want to sponsor?
I heard because I also heard like some of my woodwind friends. Yeah, they also need to have flutists. Then they will have like piccolo and then a flute. Yeah, then they will have like oboe. They need to have different oboes. Yeah, and they say it costs a lot. It costs a lot.
It is. It costs a lot. So if you would like to sponsor, I will give you a PayPal link down there. You can start donating. Okay, so to answer your question is I don't have all the instruments. My first instrument is the tenor saxophone, and then the alto and the soprano. So I have three instruments. I don't own the bari or the bass or the soprano yet.
I bet the bari and the bass is pretty expensive, right?
Yeah, you can get a cheaper price, but it still costs
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So another one. Hello, Scarlett. Would you say you're more of a soloist or a chamber musician?
For now, I think a soloist, I would say, because I just came back, and then I tried to get my friends, my quartet together at the beginning of the year, but then it's just keeping like locking down. So we can't actually have that chamber thing going on. I myself love doing chamber works, and then my quartet is actually with a oboe, a clarinet, and a bass clarinet. So Malaysian. I'm trying. Yeah, they're all Malaysian, and they based in like Kuala Lumpur. So we are trying to get the singer reed. Actually, it's a quintet, but then one of the members can't make it, so I make it a single reed quartet.
Oh.
Just to try out different possibilities of sound that we can make. Yeah.
I see. Talking about soloists, right? Have you ever played any saxophone concertos?
Yeah, I played a concerto with orchestra in Kasesar Orchestra, I think. Isn't it? Because that time I won the first prize, and then I got to play in the opening ceremony of the next Asia Pacific Academy. So that's the time we get to play with an orchestra. So to say, it's very rare, and you don't really get that opportunity all the times unless you are like super really good, and then you go into the competition and you always get to the final round. Because always the final round is to play with the play concerto. So you get to experience that. But other than that, saxophonists don't really have that experience in that settings.
Yes, I'm very curious. What's your experience? Like, what did you learn from playing with an orchestra? Are there any like shocking moments, or would you like to share?
So the interesting part of being like playing in the saxophone is you play with so many they different, because first it's different genre. So you will meet different people. So that means different musician. And then like if you are playing in the pop, I've been to a rehearsal that starts at 12:30 a.m.
Oh.
Yeah, at 12:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Something like that. So you will have to switch yourself like mindset, and then they just don't give you score. They give you like, okay, this is the 3 songs. You go back and listen to it, and then you get the backing backing horn, and then we will just start jamming. That's
Oh,
difficult, right? If you
yeah.
don't always doing that, you will just can't do it.
Yeah.
But then if you are slowly, when I got to like go into college and then I play with the piano, that's also a different experience.
Yeah.
Like piano is not an accompaniment. It's just it's a duo thing.
Yes.
But who knows?
Yes.
I always look at my saxophone part and then I would just think that, okay, this is so important. I just forget about all the rest. I don't care what other rest are doing. I'm just doing the notes that appear in my score. So I got like scolded a lot that, hey, do you even know what I'm playing? The pianist will like at me or something like that. So I also learned a lot from pianists. They are my good mentor. They really teach me a lot to listen. And yeah. And then moving on, if you are playing in a chamber music, let's say a quartet, I also learned a lot from that because we are like 4 individuals playing one single part. And then you have to know all this part so you can come in at the right time with the right intonation, all that. And then you just have to adjust. Sometimes your peers might not play loud enough, but he is still the melody. But you have a forte in your music. So what are you going to do? You aren't going to play the forte, right? You're going to play the maybe a piano to match his dynamic, something like that. So you get a different you get the whole thing as a whole. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So moving on to the orchestra, this is also my first time. So I was like super nervous, super stressed. I missed a lot of notes, to be honest, at the first
rehearsal,
movement. Not the first rehearsal, but the first movement, first performance. And then I was the first one who has to go on the stage. I was like, because I tried to memorize the piece because I think I should. And then at that time period also I've tried many things to challenge myself because as students, it's just that few years. If you don't fail now, you will never fail. You will never get better. So you might as well just fail it now. So I took up the challenges, and then I actually messed up the first movement because it's like I was like really stressed. And then in front of me is like the whole academy, the professionals, the students, they're all there. Yeah, so that's my experience. I see. But it's a good one.
Which concerto did you play?
Wagner, Andre Wagner concerto. That is for the Denon competition. I don't know, 2014, the final one. Yeah. So he wrote it for the competition for the final round.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's a very beautiful piece.
So it's a new work, is it?
A few years back.
Yeah.
Maybe not a new.
Yeah. I actually play one saxophone concerto also. With
this
other. It's not Glazunov. I think it's Tomasi, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yes. Because our school also have this concerto competition. So the person who won will play a concerto with the orchestra, with our school orchestra. So the person who won that year, I think it was 2 years back then. Yeah, it's a saxophonist. Yeah. Yeah, so he won, and then 2 years back then. I'm not sure if you know him. I think it's
him.
Johan. Johan.
Oh, Johan. Yeah. This year is Danelle, is it?
Last year. Last year. Last year.
I think last year. Yeah. Like, very good.
Yeah, that's.
But then you have to play Tomasi, not violin concerto.
No. We're playing for him, the orchestra.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
I was the orchestra. Okay. Yeah, I was.
I thought you compete in that.
Oh no. Yeah. So he won. Yeah, such a small world.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Probably the last question. So, hi Scarlett. I hope you don't mind sharing with us your plans for the development of saxophone and its music.
The development of saxophone in and its music in
I think
Malaysia.
anywhere,
And
anywhere.
I think I'm mostly focusing it's Malaysia now because I know that my friends they are doing like super great out there, so I don't have to worry or do extra things to make the outside world more like saxophone, wow.
Oh
So
yeah.
I was basically more focusing on the local scene. I would actually do everything I could to boost the interest of people on in the saxophone. No matter what kind of genre, I would willing to try. And I myself is trying to get to know more people out there and see what's the saxophone community it's doing right now. I'm hoping to get the bridge there so that each of us have that connection among within the community. So the music itself is not my main point. Yeah, because we are all, so the topic today is career opportunities.
Yes.
We have to start building that interest in people outside the saxophone. Then only we can help ourselves to get jobs.
Yes.
Isn't it? So I myself will not strict myself in a box to play just a certain genre or something. I will learn from you. If you are a saxophonist, I'm so happy to know you, and that we can learn from each other. And by exchanging that knowledge, that info or the skills, we help each other, right? And then you go build your own studio, your students, your audience, and then I build mine, and then I push my audience to your concert, and then we with that push and pull, everyone knows saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the plan here is to get to know people who play the saxophone here, and then to build that bridge so that each of us know each other, and then we help each other to build that community. Yeah, no matter what kind of like saxophonist you call yourself, you are jazz or you're classic, you're new music, it's okay, we are playing the saxophone anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I guess we have come to the end of our broadcast. So on behalf of JPO, we would like to thank everyone for dedicating your time and energy into this interview despite the pandemic that is happening right now. We would also like to thank everyone who has attended and supported this program. You guys have been great. I hope you guys got the answers you wanted. This broadcast will be on every Wednesday and Sunday night at the same time until further notice. Now I will end with prayer. Please pray in whatever faith you believe in for the COVID-19. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us the opportunity to come together, continue running this program at a moment like this. I want to pray for the nurse and doctors from around the world who has been constantly treating patients with COVID-19, and I hope people who are diagnosed with COVID-19 will get better soon. Lastly, I pray for our safety and health, and may in the future there be peace within. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in again. And thank you, Scarlett. We're very honored to have you as our speaker.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Okay, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Take care.